Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to safe haven. Attack and 12, take a check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shots going.
Office still stands for time? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. If anyone else close, wait to see what's up, let me know. 10-5, sir.
freaking mute. See, I need one of those. I need one of those lights. Damn. Good evening. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. We got some updates with a couple cases here. Nancy Guthrie, Mackenzie Sharilla, and some stuff that we're going to get into with Elena Moore. Have you heard the stuff about the tip with Nancy Guthrie? The tip stuff?
Yeah.
The first one was directed towards
Yep.
Savannah. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Savannah, we have your mother, Nancy. Whoa. So it's kind of crazy how the brother, the son of Nancy, instantly said kidnapping for ransom and said it has to do with you, Savannah. Kind of crazy. But he did work for the government, and he did, that was kind of his gig. So he pretty much called it, probably because of the amount, because she was getting, I think, $8 million from the Today Show. So that's half your salary, and you would probably liquidate some assets and things like that if you needed to pay the $6 million ransom to get your mom. But it was crazy because the first ransom note said $4 million. On day 4, it'll go up to $6 million, and on day 7, and by the second tip, there was no money attached. Just basically, she's dead, and she's with nature. So I remember when they came out with that Instagram post where they said they wanted to celebrate her, and that kind of threw us all off back then, because it was like, celebrate her? That's like she's already dead, So kind of crazy to look back when all that stuff was coming out back then and trying to decipher the words and the actions, But now that we know, it's been confirmed that those were part of the ransom. Now, Howard Bloom, he's out on his misinformation tour, talking about how there was an apology in one of the ransoms. And man, these people I don't understand it. The dude is old as shit. He comes from a time where you needed to have like four different sources vet the information, and then you would come out with it. And this dude with Idaho 4, like he's in the back seat of Koberger with his dad, going from Pullman to Pennsylvania, and this stuff here, just every time he talks, there's always some kind of clickbait misinformation attached, and I don't understand it. These Nancy Grace and Megyn Kelly and these people, I don't get it. They like have him on there, and he's sitting here talking about an apology in one of the ransom notes, and Harvey Levin has come out and said that is absolute false. The local TV stations that got the ransom notes have come out and said it's absolutely false. And it's like, how does he? I don't know. I'm surprised he still gets away with it, to be honest with you, because this is some huge stuff when you're talking about Idaho 4 and Koberger and his guilt, and you're talking about, Nancy Guthrie and the tips. You just hear something and it's like, well, this is from a law enforcement. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just crazy what he's able to get away with, because like it started this whole media storm yesterday after he came out and made the comments. This whole media storm, everybody from mainstream to at the very bottom was discussing this apology that was attached to these ransom notes. And it's just, I don't know, just keep your name relevant, I suppose. It's what he's doing. I mean, he ended up on all these talk shows, but it's kind of sad because Savannah like basically broke down on the Today Show. You know, with all this stuff coming out, you know, the last day and a half, and she had to address it, and she just started breaking down, you know. And I thought it was interesting. I don't know, did you see that? Did you see the Today Show plea for somebody to you know, talk or give some kind of information as to,
No, I
you know,
didn't see that.
yeah. Yeah, I should have it. I can pull it up. It's heartbreaking. She's sitting
Is
there
it?
with the yeah, she's sitting there with the cast, you know, the people on the side, and you know, she was like, you know, I know, because she already knew this stuff. The first tip, the second tip, you know, about being with nature and all this stuff. Now, the Pima County Sheriff said that they didn't want that information to get out because they didn't want people to stop searching. You never had anybody searching anyway, and you never allowed anybody else to search. So what do you mean by that? Like, you didn't. You
Yeah.
wanted people to still search, so you didn't want the info out that the kidnapper said she was dead. You know, we were saying from the beginning, look, she didn't make it past the first sunrise, man. Like, she didn't. She's
Yeah.
and I said they dumped her by bushes. Like, now this is what they're saying. Oh, now that she's dead, well, now guess what's going to happen? Well, the fact, are you going to find her in some bushes now all these months later? No, there's going to be animals and the sun and weather. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be surprised. It's like I said, if nobody wanted to be out there searching the first month or two, doing a real fucking search, well, then we're going to hear about somebody finding her femur bone 10 years from now, because that's, I mean, when time goes on and the elements down there, the heat, the dryness, the animals, you know, like, I'd be surprised after 2 months if she would be spread, you know, she would be spread all over. So I found that kind of interesting that they didn't want the information out on tip number 2. You got to remember, this was day 4 or 5, I think it was. I don't know if it was day 4. I think it might have been day 5. Maybe it was day 4. That's when the second ransom note come in, and it didn't have any money attached to it. So that's why the family never paid a frickin' ransom. So all these people that were accusing the family of being a part of it because they weren't conducting a search and they weren't, which they were following Pima Sheriff's orders, so you can't fault the family for that. But the fact that that they weren't like putting out some kind of paying the Bitcoin. Why aren't you paying the Bitcoin? If you then that means you're guilty. Like, all these people that were blaming the family, and here the whole time there was no reason to pay it at that point, because they never came back with the second $6 million thing, which they were supposed to. They just said she was dead. So that's why the family said, look, we'll pay you whatever. We'll pay you whatever. Just let us have her, please, you know. So the way that people spun the family and accused them all this time, when the truth has come out about these ransom notes, shame on them. But yeah, with the ransom note, second one, she was already dead. You know, what are you supposed to do at that point? So it just sucks, because I really feel like somebody would have been able to find her. Like, she would have been in some bushes. Now, you hear what they say, that she's with nature. People are breaking it down. What are they breaking down? Well, with nature, well, that probably means they didn't bury her. It probably means they put her next to a bush. Ding, ding, ding. That's the only thing that made sense even back then. But now you're not really going to find her. So, but yeah, she came out and had this heartfelt, like, you know, I've known this information. It may be, you know, news to you, but to me, it's something that we live with every day. Me, my sister, my brother-in-law, you know. And she said this, and it stuck out to me. And she was like, one day, and we'll watch it because I don't know her exact words, but it was basically like, one day I'll find the joy when I'm here. And she goes, believe me, I will one day. Believe me. Like she was telling her co-anchors, like, I'm sorry, I'm a traumatic mess all day, every day, even while I'm here at work. But one day I'll find that joy again being up here. And she stressed it, like, believe me, I will, you guys. And it's like, whoa, are we seeing the end of Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show coming soon? Because she is so heartbroken, and I feel bad. I honestly feel like she's gonna become a recluse from her trauma because
Oh, really?
she's not handling it very good at all. And you can't blame her. I mean, your mother was ripped in the middle of the night. You have people playing with your emotions with ransom letters. You have crazy ass stalker fucking YouTubers chasing your family members down. Savannah Guthrie was the one that complained about Criminal Network to Pima County Sheriff, about get this guy away from here.
I didn't know that.
The piss, yeah, she wrote a letter. The piss tent that he did in front of the house, pissing in the tent on camera. Like, bro, are you if you're gonna do it, at least turn the camera so you don't do it on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. So I don't blame her. It was disgusting, that you got dude talking about motorboating people and harassing neighbors as they're driving by and threatening them. And you know what I'm saying is, and then the dude raises like $13,000 for attorney fees. Good luck if he spends it on an attorney. You know what I'm saying? These people, I just, and Savannah is like, enough with it. You're using my mother.
Yeah.
For what? You know what I'm saying? For what? So you can. So, so I don't.
For social media
either.
fame.
Yeah. And people are saying, "Oh, nerdy," the one that posts all this stuff, like the truth stuff. They're saying somebody said that he did it or something, but who knows? Savannah is just so. When she said that, I was just like, whoa, like she stressed it to her co-anchors, like, trust me, I'll find that joy again. And it's like, damn.
I honestly was surprised that she was able to go back on the Today Show after everything.
Right.
I don't think I could have. I honestly don't think I could have.
I mean,
I was really surprised. She's done better than I thought.
Well, the more, I mean, who knows? You can fake it for so long, but look,
it'll catch up to you.
A week later, if something else comes out about another ransom letter, right? Because there was more after the first two, right? Say something else comes out next week, I almost can bet that she would go back to that same spot. And because like, you can fake it until something is out there that you just can't fake, like you didn't see it or hear it,
Yeah.
And she couldn't fake about seeing or hearing the reports about Nancy being with nature. Like, that's big news. She couldn't fake it or not hear it about, how the first one was directed to Savannah. Like, people had to be like, oh my gosh, did they really say this? And she had to be like, yeah. So she was forced to face it. So you can only like pretend you can only be in pretend land for so long until real is right in front of your face and you have no choice but to face it. And that's what'll send you back down into that hole. And so I think anytime that some huge news drops, I think she's gonna, and I think that shows her fragileness, like, I mean, the more money you make, the more you spend. I get it, and maybe that's why she went back so quick. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's why. But I mean, shit, she's got to be what, 60 at least, you know? Like you're getting close to retirement. You're making who makes $8 million a freaking year? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be doing all right, you know? Like
Yeah.
retire. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah.
do this, do this. Make your own podcast. Make your own
Mhm.
podcast. That way you
Yeah.
can do the shows when you are okay. You know? You don't have to give it up. You can and I
Mhm.
guarantee you, if she made her own podcast, boom, you're already getting the plaque of YouTube on your wall. Like it ain't gonna take that long. She's, you know, people love her,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just like, man, because it's one thing, you know, listen, I apologize about last night. I was like, after the tornadoes the other night, we had 3 of them. I didn't get shit for sleep. The next night I didn't get shit for sleep, and I came home yesterday and I was like, I was all about doing the show, and then it was like 2 hours before and I'm like, oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And so I was like, I'm just gonna have to switch it to tomorrow. Can you imagine if like I showed up last night to do a show and I'm just sitting here like this? Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say, Jennifer? I'm sorry, what? Like not even paying attention.
Yeah.
Shit's all over the place. It'd just be like, you should have just went to bed, CJ. You know, like it would have been, you know, it probably would have happened, honestly. It was bad. I'll tell you, I went to bed at 5:30 last night and I didn't wake up until 4 in the morning. Okay? Like that's how tired I was. So yeah, it would have been bad, but yeah. So you feel bad, but you know, while we're talking about it, let me play it real quick. I'm gonna play. It's just like a minute and a half or something. Um, where's it go? Oh my gosh, hold on. Oxygen. I don't know if I can play Oxygen. Ah, here it is. Hopefully they play it. And then I'm going to go through the comments and then just a couple things about Mackenzie, and then we'll get into the show. EMS audio. Now it's not 100%, but it is audio the same day, the same time, right after the Ring camera stuff. They're talking about female, same age, hallucination. I mean, they're talking some shit on there. All right. And so you can put 2 and 2 together. And so we're going to listen to that too. That's coming up. Plus, Hubs is going to tell her story. C and D's are being passed. Stuff with her friend that, you know, the one that came out on Brian Etten. There's already a smear campaign, right, Jennifer?
Yep.
You saw some shit. There's already a smear campaign. We know what the hell's going on. And that's why I've already told members of the team that's going to be out there with me on location. Look, this is what could happen. It could be a situation. I'm just saying, because look, if it's getting this freaking dirty because they're trying to keep this truth from coming to light about the abuse that was taking place in their marriage, and they're on a war path. I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys are posting in the Facebook groups of the Lena Moore, you know, if you're posting in those Facebook groups, be warned right now, the husband, the PI, and the family that married the husband and Delana are out there taking screenshots, and they're going to start defamation cases very soon just based off of screenshots at minimum. Just as a heads up, yes, it's getting very dirty. I already had to let other people know, like, look, it could be a situation. I'm not going to be doing nothing wrong. I always respect everything, but it could be a situation where they twist something, and next thing you know, they're trying to make sure that truth don't get out, and they're going to go to whatever lengths, and if that means shutting me up somehow, don't be surprised. So if I disappear for a while, and Rosie pops on or something, or Jennifer pops on or something, they're like, all right, guys, we got to talk to you. We don't know what happened, but this is the situation. Yeah, so I'm just going to tell you right now, it will be recorded. Anytime that I'm getting out of a vehicle, getting back in a vehicle, driving in a vehicle, it will be recorded. So I'm letting y'all know right now. Some crazy shit happens. It's going to be recorded until a certain extent, until they shut it off like they did Criminal Network. But yeah, just as a heads up. What's up, Sunshine? I am green. Oh, yeah, we're going to play this real quick. See, I'm still kind of half tired. Hold on. Let's see. Let me get to it. No, that's not it. Okay, that lied. That lied. Hold on. Okay, that was... okay, here it is right here. Let me switch to it real quick. Thank you all for joining. And I'm going to scroll the comments here in a second. Where is the TV screen? All right, here we go. All right, so here's the message from this. Where'd it go? Okay, we got to do this.
And you this morning, Nancy's daughter, Savannah Guthrie, just moments ago on the Today Show, emotional and renewing her plea for anyone with information to come forward. I want you to listen to this.
Guys, and I love this place, and this is unusual and unprecedented, to say the least, to be sitting here. But, you know, I don't have any comment on the story, and I'm not involved in our coverage. But I can't pretend I'm not here. And so since I am, I wanted to just take the opportunity to ask people, to beg people to come forward. Somebody knows something. And this is a new story today that is on your radar, but this is the life that my sister lives, that I live, that my brother lives, that our extended families live, that our children live every day. And we are in agony. And we cannot be at peace. So no matter how much I try to come out here every day and smile and find that joy, and I will, I promise I will. This is a moment to tell you that we need your help. We're begging for your help. And I'm not going to miss that opportunity. And so please, if you're watching, yes, no matter how small, the reward is there. You can tell us. It can be anonymous. Please do the right thing for us, for our family, for our children. And we love our mom, and we'll never stop looking for her. Never.
All right, so that was the message. You see what I mean when she said, and trust me, you guys, I will one day find that joy. I was just like, damn. You can't blame her for not healing, you know? Because, my gosh, I can't even imagine, you know, that's your mom. You know what I'm saying? You came from your mom. You were in your mother's womb. Like, you have that special connection, and then, you know, to be in that situation and to have all that stuff going on in the background. Every moment you're awake, you're in agony, you know? And so you just want to sleep as much as possible because then you're not feeling agony. I can't imagine.
Yeah. I said I'm really surprised she's been able to do the show as long as she has.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But, you know, you're around people, you can pretend for a few hours a day. And then when, it's like she said, I cry when I'm driving to work, and I cry right when I'm leaving work. She's crying until she gets to, you know, and that was her comfort. But, you know, when the comfort went away, I think, because I think maybe it was people as she's walking in the building, or maybe it was even her own co-anchors that asked, is this true? And I think that's when her comfort, because, you know, when you're working, that's when you can block a lot of stuff out and not remember because you're so focused on everything else. But when you go to that place and then somebody from there is like, hey, is this true? I mean, I'm sure one of them asked her. I mean, shit, that was big news, man, about Nancy being with nature and not being alive. Is it true your mom's dead? You know, like I can see somebody asking that, or and it just sent her crashing. I don't know. I don't think it's very, maybe through the summer, maybe. I don't think by the end of the year she's going to be doing her on that talk show anymore. I don't know. Do YouTube, Savannah. Trust me. You know, retire, do YouTube. And with somebody like you, you know, you already have the name, you already have the platform. All you have to do is just sit back and talk. I mean, shit, it's not like us where we got to do all this homework and shit. But at least she could sit back and talk, do it on her own time. Wouldn't that be nice if somebody else just did all that shit and we're like, oh yeah, hey, guess what, guys? Yeah, got scripts written for you and everything. I mean, damn, you just stick to the script. You don't even have to veer off course or anything.
Yeah.
So did you hear about Mackenzie Sharilla? And she got her appeal denied from the Ohio Supreme Court. It got shut down. And it's kind of funny because after it got shut down, her mom come out on Chris Cuomo last night and did an interview. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, if we have time, we will check that out tonight. If not, we'll have to check it out tomorrow because I can't wait to hear what she has to say. I bet that because you ain't gonna hear Dad in the background like you did the other way around. But I bet I'm calling it right. No, I'm serious. Dad ain't gonna say shit. Dad ain't gonna say shit. He ain't. He's gonna be sitting there and his arm's gonna be twitching. He's gonna be, you know, doing all that weird ass shit that he does, you know. All that weird shit. But the mom, man, I bet you, I haven't seen it yet. I just saw it because I always like to wait to watch it fresh. So I haven't seen it yet. But when I just, the thought of it, I'm like, oh gosh, I bet you she slipped up a couple times. Betcha, because she's always slipping up. And I bet you she said some wild ass shit that would be so disrespectful to Davion. I bet you, because no matter what, both of them have diminished Davion in this whole thing. And I bet you she slips up a couple times. So that's going to be an interesting watch. If we have time tonight, I do want to slip it in there. And we might have time, honestly. We might have time. But there's a lot of stuff to get through with Elena first. But yeah, appeal denied. Now they got to go. They went to the Ohio Supreme Court. Now the next step is going to the Supreme Court. And they're going to look at her prison record. And they're going to be like, no. Even if it was just, I mean, forget the 30 to 40. Even if it was just 3 or 4, they would still look at it and go, no, you know, no. I do want to mention
I wonder how much her mom blames that on everyone else except Mackenzie.
Probably the lawyer. Who knows? I mean, it's I want to pretend to be a badass, so I'm going to get in trouble. Just entitled bratness, you know. That's what it is. They don't respect authority. Just entitledness, and they just keep promoting it. It's sad, you know. That they are the reason why their daughter, I'm going to say this right now, they are the reason why their daughter is in prison. Because if they would have raised her the right way, she wouldn't have done this shit. She wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. If they had just learned to say no once in a while.
Well, think about it. Like, entitledness brings the whole, it's okay to take him out if I don't get my way. Like, the whole entitledness brought on that accident, brought on the thought of being okay to go through with that accident. Entitledness, because I didn't get my way. Because I didn't get my way with Dom, then I can, you know, it's entitledness. Yeah, so bad. But I did want to mention Jennifer. So be the second or third or fourth or fifth or whatever to subscribe to Jennifer. You can't be the first because I was the first. But right. But
yeah, let's talk about it.
she had to make a new channel. So do us a favor. I'm going to drop the link again. She has to start all fresh. Google did something where she can't even get into her shit no more. So we had to help her get a new channel set up and all that stuff. So it's going to be called, instead of My True Crime with Jennifer G, it's going to be called the Jennifer G Files. And I love the name. So definitely go sub up and show some love over there.
And I want to say thank you to everyone who did sub, and I apologize for that. And I hope that you come back to the new channel and you sub. I'd appreciate it, and hopefully we won't have any more issues, and I can start getting content out for those that do subscribe. So thank you.
Yeah, it because like literally when we went to get everything finished up, that's when we realized, oh shit, what? You can't get in there anymore? So
I did some weird stuff, and
yeah, it took like a 45-minute project into like a 3 or 4 hour project, something like that. Yeah, but it's all squared away.
To fix it.
Yeah. What's up, Rita, Caddy, Lisa? Nature and something sounds like woman writing. Oh, you think so? You think it was a?
Sorry.
You think it was a woman? Oh, you're good. You think it was a woman that wrote the ransom note? What's up, Hoppers? Some people are saying awful things on Twitter about her, though, saying I know these people. It's so upsetting the way that I could never imagine. What's up, Mary? I could never imagine, like, you treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So if your mother was ripped away like this, would you want other people to treat you that way? I highly doubt it. Would you want others to talk about you that way? I highly doubt it. So why do it or instigate it? I mean, the dude that criminal network is instigating all this shit. Even like the attorney general, he's instigating shit, like sending followers to go right. I mean, it's disgusting what's going on. Like,
I don't want to. This is just my opinion, but there's something really wrong with criminal network in the way that he sees other people's pain and suffering. He sees it as it's almost reminds me of like in the animal kingdom, when there's an injured or wounded animal, the other ones will attack it. And it just feels like that to me. He sees someone down and suffering, and he takes advantage of that, and he just goes for the throat. And I don't understand where he's going with that.
It's a persona. He has to act that way. See, there's a saying, if you always got to brag about it, then you don't have it. And it's the truth. Yeah. So the people that are constantly putting themselves out in a certain light, it's because they don't have it inside, you know? That's why they say real G's move in silence, because they don't need to brag. In fact, they don't want to brag, because they already know that they got whatever they got, right? So there's no reason to go out and promote that kind of vibe or energy, because if somebody does come to a situation, you already know you're going to react how you've already, you know, like you already know if somebody wants to pop up, it's, you know, you already know. So you don't, the ones that, it's almost like the little teeny dog that has to bark out the window, and then all of a sudden when you open the door, it starts running away. It's the same kind of thing. I need to bark and be loud and be rambunctious, so you think, damn, that's a crazy ass fucking dog, right? Like, I don't want to mess with it. Barking, da 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 da. Open the door, you know, and then you see a little bit of piss drip behind it and shit because of piss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that.
I know
So
exactly
it's like,
what you're saying.
yeah. So
I've had
sorry
that
for
dog.
putting that image in your head. Little comedy with the coffee, but yeah, it's like, so when you see all that, you know, this and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, all my shit's underneath, you know, like all of my shit is underneath. I don't need shit all about here, you know.
Yeah.
It's just sad because that's when the wrong people have the platform, but they're not using it
For good.
I don't know. I guess I can't say that because there's so many hate channels out there that make content and stuff too. And basically that's what he is. He's a hate channel at this point, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It really is, whether he intended it to be that or not.
yeah. I mean, no, I'm sure. I mean, look, if you have what you have in your soul, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, we're sitting here talking right now, right? We could be talking about hate shit. We could be hating and doing all that shit too. It's what's inside your soul. You don't have that in your soul. I don't have that in my soul. Rosie doesn't have that in her soul. None of us in chat have that in our soul. So it's what you have in your soul already. It's just the level of, you know, straw, microphone, bullhorn, loudspeaker, it just whatever device you have that amplifies your voice at different levels, that's the only thing that's different. He would already have this already. It's already in somebody's soul. But people can fake it for so long, you know, and then eventually the real will come out. Did you see the post that Alex made? Yeah, I saw it. I'm not going to read it, but I did see it. Yeah. It's just unfortunate, you know? It really is. I just hate to see it. It's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me see here. So let me go to this Elena Moore stuff. So we'll get to the EMS audio here in a minute. One thing I did want to go through is there was a bunch of people not only discussing the Ring camera, you know, how it cut out, you know, after she says, oh shit, it cuts out and it takes out, you know, something that she's saying. And, you know, it's when I went through it, I wanted to show people that whoa, what the heck was that? Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a minute. What's this? Suspicious man reported. So it says dispatch audio of a suspicious white bald male with a goatee on the walking trail near where Elena's body was found. Call was about 4 hours before her body was found. Thoughts? What? Now I want to because all the autopsies said, and I'll get to that too. Let me pull that up first. Damn, we're gonna have to listen to that. Hold on, let me pull up the autopsy thing here real quick. So it says right here. Let me share it. Okay, so it says right here, is it going to show it? All right. It says right here, let me get rid of the chat box here. 1 second. Okay. It says right here that autopsy results for Elena K. Moore, Lexington County Coroner Margaret Fisher is releasing the preliminary findings from the forensic autopsy of Elena K. Moore, which was conducted on Saturday, June 20th, 2026 at MUSC in Charleston. The autopsy did not identify an immediate cause of death. Examination of the body revealed no evidence of traumatic injury, including no bruising, lacerations, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, blunt force trauma, strangulation, or other external injuries. That's going to demonetize the video. As a result, the cause of death remains pending at this time. Additional evaluation is required, including histological studies, review of medical records, and toxicology testing, which can really take about 2 to 3 weeks, honestly, so it could be a while. No further information will be released by the Lexington County Coroner's Office until all pending studies have been completed and that the pathologist has determined the cause and manner of death. And so when it comes to that, the possibility, and this is real talk, and I hate to say it because I have a feeling this is what it's going to come back. So a lot of times when you have this for the results of the initial autopsy, because I said they're going to have to do dental records and all sorts of stuff. Like they're going to have to like go deep to see exactly like, you know, the toxicology and all that stuff. Because the outside, the decomp would have been tremendous in that week, especially at those temps. Humidity rained a couple times. It's not good. But, you know, I have a lot of times with when you're seeing what you're seeing, it comes back as natural causes, where there is no determination. And what I mean by natural causes, you don't see heart attack, you don't see, you know, anything. It just says natural causes, like inconclusive. There's nothing to show what the cause of death was, and I have a feeling that's what it's going to come back, because there's been a lot of there's some people from the area that have mentioned how corrupt, I gotta be careful. They mentioned how corrupt shit is up there. I'm not gonna like, you know. And it kind of goes along with the typical corrupt stuff. Now, these coroners are elected positions. They're not, listen, you could literally, did you know that you could be a coroner? Yeah. You don't even have to go to school.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
They get elected. They're elected officials, just like a sheriff. Politics are involved.
That's a easy way to get certain people elected that, you know, think like you.
Yeah, right? That's why it happens so much. That's why I was like, when I'm seeing this, which I already said this is what we were going to find, unless she was like, you know, or something. I'm like, look, they're not, because of the decomp. The decomp. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what it looked like. And I can imagine, I just don't want to, I should say. But with this audio, suspicious guy, 4 hours before her body's found. See, it's going to make a difference when I'm
Yeah.
actually there and I can see and feel and see what makes sense and what don't, because this other audio that we're going to hear, two audios, this other audio, if I'm listening to it and I know where they're at, and then I can be like, look, it could be, it's hard to determine the level of value without being there. I have to be there, and then I can tell you what makes sense and what don't. Just not being there, I can't really, I can't picture myself being there. I can't see the distances and the terrain and opportunities and what. So, but when it comes to this audio, though, it makes me wonder, like, well, wait a minute. They were looking for her body for a whole week, right? They were looking for it for a whole week. What if this suspicious individual that was walking in the park really did have something to do with it? And what if 4 hours early, just because the autopsy says that doesn't mean that she was advanced decomp. Remember, somebody thought she was sleeping. So we haven't seen the pictures. We don't know the level of decomp. All we can do is assume that her body was there from the last time she was seen until she was found. But it doesn't say the level of decomp in the autopsy report. It just says nothing out of the ordinary externally. So that person that was suspicious 4 hours before, well, what if they did drop her off? Then somebody that comes across would look at her and go, well, she looks like she's sleeping, just like the other scenario with her being advanced decomp that we explained the last show. They could still say the same thing. Oh, it looks like somebody's sleeping. You could still say the same thing on the autopsy report. Oh, nothing suspicious. Everything could still say the same thing, even if she was just freshly put there from somebody and she was only laying there for 4 hours. So when it comes to that audio, it definitely could be something that is connected to it. Now, it was on Facebook. I don't know what happened because I shared it. What the hell? I shared it and now it's not there. What the hold on. Where? Hold on. Where did it go? Other posts. Where? No. Hold on a minute. Oh my gosh. Does somebody know the post that I'm talking about? It was on Facebook. No way. Hold on a minute. Shit. It was the audio. Audio from 4 hours before. If anybody sees it on Facebook, send it to me, please. Shit, I shared it to my Facebook and it doesn't show it. Like it was, but it couldn't have been taken down. I just shared it. Give me one moment.
I've been curious about how much information that is out is going to start disappearing.
I wish I would have went to that instead of the frickin' coroner's report, because the only reason I left it was because I went to the damn coroner's report. That sucks. I'm scrolling. And see, that's the thing with Facebook. You don't know if it's freaking 20 days ago. Not that it was, but you know, they have shit all over the place. It's from all sorts of different days instead of just recent. Damn. Yeah, I guess I lost it. I don't know. Damn, that sucks. It was like it was in dark mode because it was like recorded in vertical. It was in dark mode. And it was the audio. Suspicious white bald male with a goatee. It said white bald male with goatee, 4 hours, or on same trail as Elena, 4 hours before body found, was in the title. And I'll probably just end up looking for it and not see it anymore. Well, that sucks. I even shared it to my Facebook. Oh, here it is. Why didn't it? Dude, it was 13 minutes ago. No, that's the EMS audio I'm talking about. I found it. It showed up. It just didn't show up on my shit for a long time for some reason on my Facebook. All right, let me click on it and we'll play it here. All right, pause. All right, let me share it real quick. So this is the audio, is it? All right, hold on. Turn this music down. Okay, pause. Turn on the sound. Oh. Is it gonna play or what?
42 Pennington, ID a suspicious person, Forest Edge Trail.
Go ahead.
489 Forest Edge Trail, 489 Forest Edge Trail. Caller states they were walking the 14-mile trail and saw a suspicious male. Took a picture and wants to show an officer. Time lapse of 5 minutes, said it was a whiskey mite with a bald head and a goatee, wearing a light green shirt and jeans.
So somebody called it in as a goatee. Well, her husband don't have a goatee. And Lioness Henry has long hair. I wonder what and took a picture.
Sure would like to see that picture.
Well, Forest Edge Trail. So put yourself in that situation, okay? Say you were. I'll put it as a male, and you put it as a female. Say, because it was no, it wasn't. That was just dispatch. Okay, so say the caller was a female. You saw a suspicious white male, bald with a goatee, on the walking trail near where you don't know if there was a body or not. You just saw a suspicious male with a goatee walking down the trail, enough to where you had to take a picture for some reason. Who knows what it is? say you called it in, would
Mhm.
you go to the area like after he leaves, or maybe while you're talking to the police? Would you like try and see what is suspicious? Like, say you saw him standing there looking into the woods off the trail, and he was just standing there, and maybe he bent over a couple times. You don't know because there's bushes, but then he just stood up and he was just standing there, not even looking at you, looking into the bushes. And you were like, man, that guy's suspicious. So you took a photo. Wouldn't you try and go see what, you think he's suspicious? Would you try and go like peek around a little bit and like maybe walk a few steps up, try and do something to see, well,
Yeah.
what's going
I
on,
would,
right?
yeah.
You'd be nosy,
Yeah.
right? A little nosy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised that there's not more to this report on dispatch, because as a male, I would have done the same thing too. I would have been like, well, what the hell is this dude doing? Right?
Mhm.
Then I would imagine you'd see a body, because it's not like where her body was found was filled in with a bunch of foliage, brush, and bush that was
Yeah.
so close to the ground. It was open, it was open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you did see, I would think that you would probably see a body or if you wanted to wait until he was gone, then you would go back and check it out, and then you'd stumble across a body. And so we know the person that called in the tip wasn't somebody that saw this suspicious male, because then they would have mentioned the suspicious male with the body. They just said, oh, it looked like somebody was sleeping. So to me, I would think that whether it was a male or a female, if there was anything to do with Elena, then I would think it would have been expressed through the 911 call about the suspicious person. Look, there's a
Mhm.
suspicious white bald male with a goatee walking near a trail. He was messing in the woods. He was doing this, he was doing that, and I can't tell. I didn't want to get that close, but it looks like
Yeah.
some kind of something's on the ground by him. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look like it belongs in the woods. Can you send somebody to check it out? I feel like that would have been what we
Yeah.
would have heard on this. And so it's interesting. Suspicious man reported 4 hours before. But I mean, we'll see if anything ever does come from it. I don't know if I really do see anything coming from it, because I think we would have more than just that, um, a suspicious male. Now, the next thing I wanted to share real quick when it comes to video, oh, is this ring cam, right? And let me share this. We'll go full screen on this. Now, this ring cam, people were like, how come it gets cut out after she says, oh shit, they intentionally spliced it because it said somebody's name. And this is what the name is. And if you watch it, it's because they're seeing the video without this part right here, right? The ring cam stuff. So whenever this stops and goes, it's like it cuts it out. So it's not something that was done from the people themselves, because they were making it seem like John Moore or his wife / girlfriend were the ones that cut the name out of the recording. And it's like, no, all you have to do is watch this and you'll see that it cuts it off when the blue stops and the red starts, and the red stops and the blue starts. It has nothing to do with anybody editing anything. It has everything to do with, this is just how ring cam is. Sometimes that thing can go 25 minutes if it wants. It doesn't matter. It's just It all depends on the settings that the person has for it. Because you can have that thing recording 24/7 if you want. You really could. So I want to play this so everybody sees it and they can see for themselves that no, it wasn't anything that was spliced.
Thank you. You mind if I take a picture with it? Yeah. You can take that one. I just want to take a picture of the door. Thank you.
Now, see how it's going to stop and start again? See what I'm saying? So what people think is this cutting out, it's not cutting out. It's the ring cam where it goes from motion to answered ring. So if they wouldn't have answered the ring, then it wouldn't have spliced. Now it's crazy because why would you answer the ring and not say nothing? You would just come to the door. So I don't, and maybe they just did that because it wouldn't shut up until they did it. Could be, not sure, but this just shows you after she says, "Oh shit," nobody edited anything out. It just went from motion to ring answered because it was still ringing.
Oh shit.
All right, so I wanted to share that. We'll go more into the ring cam later on. Now, I also wanted to share these because this was kind of crazy. So over here on Twitter, it does appear that Athena Moore wanted everybody to know how unhappy she was in her marriage. Perhaps this was a cry for help. I am. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. There we go. This is Alina's side of the story. So we're gonna click through them here. Now it says skin, hair, nails, fitness, and it's got her photo. The memories are in the trash, and I stopped loving him a long time ago. I was just looking for a way out when I realized I was in relationship with the devil. Sounds like Micah. Sounds exactly like Micah.
Yeah.
How to move on from a toxic partner. Says, I am finally free and safe. The war is over, it says. And this is her responding to this post. The war is over. You are no longer my first thought in the morning, nor the last thought at night. You are not in my heart anymore or on my mind, and I don't think about you like I used to. It doesn't hurt anymore. There's no love left, not even any empathy. It took time and I struggled, but I got through it, and now I'm genuinely happy you're out of my life. I remember you as something I went through, not something I wish for anymore. I don't wish for things to work. I'm just glad they're over. I don't check my phone hoping it's you. Instead, I feel relief that it isn't. My days pass calmly now, not filled with the anxiety I used to feel when I was with you. I don't miss you. I don't wonder about you, and I don't look for you in anything anymore. Letting you go was the best thing I did for myself, and for the first time in a long time, I'm truly happy and at peace without you. Everything feels lighter, like a weight I carried for so long is finally gone. I feel free now, like I can breathe properly again, like I'm not tied down to something that was hurting me. I'm moving forward without looking back, and for the first time in a long time, I feel at peace with that. You know, it sounds like somebody that was leaving in an abusive situation and finally got out, you know?
Yeah, it sounds very, very similar to that.
And then I hope one day you stand in front of a mirror and cannot look away from the truth that what you did to me was not just wrong, it was cruel. You were never real with me, so at least be real with yourself, because somewhere deep inside you know exactly how badly you broke me. I hope in the middle of your busiest days, when life feels fine, you close your eyes and it all comes back to you. The lies, the betrayal, the way you made me feel so small while I was loving you with everything I had. I hope my love stays with you like a quiet curse, not loud enough to ruin you, but heavy enough that you can never escape it. And I hope one day in some quiet moment you feel even a fraction of the emptiness you left inside me when you let me go, like I was nothing at all. So I thought that was pretty interesting, uh, too, when it came to some of the social media that's out there. Um, Let me see here. There was something else I wanted to go through too. Now, this was from Plunder True Crime, and this was on Facebook. This one, let me remove us. This one is from the CVS store on June 11th. I was advised that there was an individual in the PD's lobby that wished to file a report for a missing person. Upon arrival, I made contact with the complainant slash victim. He stated that his wife, the listed subject, had been released from the, mental health facility. Now, this is one thing that's weird that I did want to mention real quick, Jennifer, about when she left on her own accord at the mental health facility. Why, if you really cared about your wife, why would you let her leave a mental health facility in a cab? Why would you, if you're a loving husband, why wouldn't you make sure to go pick her up? Wouldn't you want to be there when she leaves? Wouldn't you want to make sure she's safe with you after she left?
Hmm.
The whole reason that she got out to go to the CVS is because she told the cab driver, "Let me out at the CVS." And then he lost her. Then everything took place that we know of where she passed away. Why would you let your wife get picked up and go home in a freaking cab? I'm sorry. If my wife was having a mental breakdown in an episode, dude, I would be there way fucking early to make sure
Hmm.
that everything's cool. I mean, my gosh, I can't imagine. That's if you're a loving husband. If you're a piece of
Yeah.
shit husband, you let her get a fucking cab. How could you
Yeah.
do that?
Even if there were problems and you know there was a separation, I still couldn't have watched my loved one go through that and not be there in some capacity, especially when she got out, making sure that she was somewhere, had somewhere to go, wherever she wanted to go. But to
I don't.
just dump her off and leave her there
Right.
and never look back is kind of cold hearted.
Yeah. See, because like right here, like I just don't get it. You're such a loving husband. You're such a loving husband, but you let your wife leave a mental health facility in a fucking cab, dude. Like, dude, like I would want her to be right next to me because I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like,
Hmm.
you want to make sure she's safe. To me, it was like, whatever fucking happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. If she ends up getting out at CVS and then goes missing and dies under a bridge, so be it.
Yeah. I feel like it, and this is just my opinion, but from everything that we've learned so far, it's almost as if she was an afterthought, and it's like, yeah, that's what you get. Now what are you gonna do? Kind of attitude from him.
It's
Just
just
not
crazy.
being there.
Yeah, just not being there as a husband.
Yeah.
That's why they're so they're going after all these people, smear campaigns. They're probably look, I've already had somebody try and hack into some of my shit the last couple days, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with, you know, not gonna lie. I'm not stupid. I got my shit locked down, so you ain't getting in, but somebody's been trying to get in the last couple days.
Yeah, that's
And they're going these lengths to get people to stay quiet. I
and it's
wonder
gotta make
why.
you wonder, yeah, what are you trying to hide? What don't you want us to know about this?
So yeah, I mean, you can't hide the fact you let her go home in a fucking cab. I mean, that shows piece of shit behavior right there. I mean, you work for your own yourself. You can take the time out to go pick her up and drop her off at home. Contribution call out Dolores with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, appreciate it. And let me highlight that for you. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're doing well this evening. So it says, I was advised that there's an individual in the PD's lobby that wished to file a missing persons report. Upon arrival, I made contact with the complainant victim. He stated that his wife, the listed subject, had been released from Three Rivers Mental Health Facility. I don't know why that's blocked out. On June 11th, 2026, prior to 1400 hours, so-and-so had provided a cab for the subject. What? Maybe it's the business, Uber, something, who knows.
Sometimes a facility will provide it if you don't have a way to provide it.
Maybe. Had provided a cab for the subject, which stopped at her request at the IL. That was the last time the subject was seen by the cab driver, who had attempted to make contact with her within the store after she had not returned outside. Okay, so let's put a pause on that for a second. And let me switch to this. I apologize. You can't see the whole thing, you guys. One moment. Let me switch to this. Okay. So let me put a pause to that. So if you get a... Okay. So you're driving somebody home. Okay. And they want you to stop at the CVS so they can go in and get something. And then she decides to dip out. Let's really put some common sense to this. Why would somebody want to... Because to me, CVS was a comfortable place. And this is... She used to work there, right? She used to work there. Yeah. She quit. She knows people that work there. You don't think she went to CVS to say, hey, Julie, do me a favor. I'm being taken to a dangerous situation, and I just left a dangerous situation. Can you do me a favor and let me out the back door real quick? Because I can't let this person see me leave out the front because they're going to follow me. I'm in a dangerous position. Can you do me a favor, Julie? Please let me out the back door where you'd put out the trash. There you go. That's exactly what happened. Because who else in their right mind, if you're heading home, if you're going somewhere comfortable, or you're going somewhere safe, why in the hell would you feel the need to jump out, dodge the driver, and escape without him seeing? Because you're going to a dangerous situation. What happened after she tried to escape him? She ended up dead. Who the fuck was this cab driver? And what the hell was he doing after? Now, You had to be, I don't know, maybe somebody
Yeah,
was
kind of makes you wonder
following the
who paid
cab.
for it.
Well, or who was following the cab. Because maybe the person that was following the cab realized, oh, after so long, oh, she's dodging the cab. And they took off and they already have the smarts on how to track somebody. Oh, she left out, like I just said. And then in their mind, oh, she left out the back door. So they're driving, they're leaving the cab driver. They're like, screw this. I know she ditched the cab. I'm going to look for her. And then boom, I run into her. She thought she was getting away, but I'm too smart and I was watching her with the cab driver. I know she ditched the cab. She probably went out the back door because she knew Julie. And I went and met her over here because I know that she knew that she wouldn't end up in that guy's line of sight if she went this way. She had to go this way to not end up in his line of sight. And so that's where I ran into her at. And then boom, I did something to her and put her under the bridge because I knew she was already going to where she was gonna go. She knew where she was going to go. I had to make sure that if she didn't go to where she was going to go, I had to make sure that the job got done.
Yeah.
But to me, it sounds like, the cab driver, like if you're taking somebody and they're like, "Oh, can you take me to the CVS real quick so I can get a Sprite?" And so you let them go in there and you're waiting 20, 30 minutes as a cab driver. What cab driver's waiting 20 or 30 minutes for their frickin' person to come back out? I don't know. To me, any cab driver would be like, okay, well, she left, order done. I get, I get, I get sorry. I get a percentage of it. And if she wants a ride from CVS to her home, she can Uber again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what would happen. They're not going to sit there and if that person wants to, they can, but no, you're timed. And after a certain time limit, especially if it's like an Uber or something, they don't have to stick around. They already get paid. They already get paid. You're the one that didn't fulfill the freaking thing. And so, what cab driver who is going to attempt to make contact with her inside the store after he realized that she ditched him? So that whole situation doesn't make sense with that damn cab driver. Let's see, I'm not going to put that information up. That's all their information. I'm not going to put that up there. There was another picture. So I don't know. That's what I think happened. I think she used CVS as a way to get away from the driver because I think she knew what she was going to. You're going to walk into a home where apparently that stuff was going on, and I don't know. I mean, that's just crazy, man. You leave the mental health facility, you're riding in a cab, you feel the need that you gotta like ditch the cab driver, and you don't, like, I would expect that in a suicide, right? Like, and we know it's not a suicide because the coroners basically told you it wasn't, unless she did some kind of pill or something. I mean, but then again, who's to say that she administered it herself? We don't know.
Yeah.
But who in the hell, like, you're going to do that, like, if you're going to try and commit suicide, right? You're going to, like, dodge people. You're going to go off on your own, but you're going to have some kind of sign. There's going to be a hole. There's going to be a rope. There's going to be slits. There's going to be something, right? Something. You're not just going to do that to then all of a sudden end up dead with no suspicious signs. That just doesn't
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Yeah, she was definitely being followed. To me, I bet you it went down like I just said. I bet you the person that had to look, you make sure she gets to this freaking house. You follow that guy. That way if she leaves, because they probably knew she's gonna probably try and escape. She's probably gonna try and escape. So I bet you somebody was following her, the cab. They noticed, oh shit, at the same time the cab driver got out and started to walk up, they probably went, oh, she probably went out the back door because she knows people that work there. Like I said, Elena trying to be safe, I'm going to walk to the side of the building that is the longest, that would have the least amount of visual for the cab driver. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and that's where that person would go. And I bet you they met right up. I bet you they ran into her. I wouldn't be surprised if they made her go down there, because I'm going to tell you something. Where she was found, and I'm going to take you guys there. Where she was found, it's right off the frickin' highway. Do you not think a body is easy to dump right off the highway? You know? We don't know if any of her bones were broken. As far as we know, she could have been, I mean, you guys saw how close that spot was off the highway. Somebody could have literally just thrown her over the top of pulled off to the side of the road, acted like, put their hood up, acted like they were having car trouble, made sure nobody was driving up on the road real quick, picked her up, ran over and threw her over, and then hurried up and ran back over to the hood, acting like they had some car troubles for a second, just to, they didn't look out of the ordinary. Like that, she could have literally been tossed over the side of the road. It doesn't mean somebody had to be down under the bridge with her. It could have been just a dump.
Yeah.
So
that's, in my mind, that's more of what it was, is she was put there.
Yeah, like here, I'll show you. We'll use that video again. I'll show you guys how close she was to that road.
It's very...
See, you got the road right there. Somebody pulls over, puts their hood up, pretends like they're having car problems. They walk over this rail right here. Now, it'd be interesting. There's a gas station right there. It'd be interesting to see the footage on that, the CCTV on the gas station. That would have somebody that's dumping some. They never said no bruises. They never said no bruises at all. They just said, let me see here. Hold on. No force trauma. Okay. No bruising, lacerations, gunshot wounds, stab wounds. Then I don't know. I doubt she was dumped over there then. But when you're dead already, there's not blood movement, so you're not going to bruise. So if you're dead already for an extended period of time, your blood's not going to move through your body because there's no heart pumping your blood through your body. Now it'll pool.
Yeah.
It'll go to a certain part of the body, and it'll collect in a certain part of the body depending on the position and the if it's in water or something. But if you're already dead, you're and plus you got to think advanced decomp too. If she was laying down there that long, you ain't gonna see. I'm gonna tell you right now, that skin is gonna look a different color. It's gonna be darker. Some parts are gonna be missing. There's gonna be slippage. It's gonna look mummy in a way, like without the wrap. Like it's gonna, but you're dropping down on Geez, I'm sorry with these alarms. It was because last night I was supposed to wake up at that time. So sorry. I didn't shut them off. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's foliage too, and there's grass and everything, so that would soften it. But yeah, um, there's no blood movement. So, and right there are some rocks, but it could it be? It was just that it's a possibility. Do I think that she was down there, and the act of her dying was down there? That's what I ultimately believe. I'm just saying she's this close to the road. It could be possible. But I do believe that she was down there because I think there was an altercation. I think she was forced to go down there. When you have somebody at gunpoint, they're going to listen to you. They probably let her right there because why? Because like I said in the beginning, it's an easy access for them to leave. Now, they're going to force somebody to go down there. They're not going to make her go down there when she's out because she'll scream right here and somebody will look. But if she's down in the woods, if she was walking behind the store, went to Planet Fitness, left Planet Fitness, right? Then was leaving. Who works out before they take themselves out anyway? But leaving, that's when somebody that was supposed to watch her and follow her like they were said, hey, because isn't Planet Fitness one of the main spots? If you're an investigator, you go to the main spots often because they'll typically return to one of those spots. It's just how it works. So then they probably were like, okay, she's at the Planet Fitness. They followed her from the Planet Fitness. They knew she had to walk because the cab driver wasn't around anymore. They're not around anymore, so she probably thought she was safe to go walk. Next thing you know, boom, somebody was right there. You were being followed the whole time, Elena. You were right. And the person that followed you, to me, is the person that led you down there so they could do what they did. And this right here, easy access. Because they can leave real quick. Like I said back then, they could have had somebody waiting there, or they could have parked there. Think about this. We're looking at this gas station over here, right? What if they literally fucking parked at the gas station? Who's going to think that there's anything suspicious about a car that's sitting in the side parking lot on the side of the building? Nobody's going to look twice at it. They're going to think they're taking a long shit. Or they're like trying to get their Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, oh, those people are in there for a while, right?
Yeah. How many times do you question a car parked at a gas station?
And then think about this too. If somebody was walking out of these woods and they were at the intersection and they walked up and they got into the vehicle and they left, how many people would sit there and go, huh, that's weird. Maybe one person at the pump that might have been looking. But other than that, they're going to think, oh, maybe he was just parking there because he had to go over here. Or maybe he ran, who knows? But they're not going to be like, oh, this person was doing something crazy in the woods. Like, that would be a perfect spot to park your car if you're just going to mosey on back and get in the vehicle and leave, because nobody's going to question an out-of-the-place vehicle at a gas station. All vehicles, except for the person that works there, is out of the place. So there's no standout. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a spot somebody was chilling at, waiting. Hey, do me a favor, pick me up at this gas station. I just took her out under this bridge at this intersection. Wait for me at that gas station, Or don't make it suspicious. I'm not going to walk up here. I'm going to go meet you at the intersection outside of the woods. So do me a favor. In about 2 minutes, just pull out of the gas station. I'll come out of the trees. You pick me up and then we'll go. Easy out. Easy out. But something definitely. She didn't just. I don't know. She could have definitely died from a heart attack too, though. Being honest, she did go work out for a few hours. She wasn't like okay, so she was at the mental health facility. You saw how she was breathing heavily. She wasn't thinking clearly. Maybe the medication that they put her on did something to her heart, you know? And maybe it was on like a borderline thing where if it's too much of this all of a sudden, and maybe when she went to work out for 3 hours, it was too much. It could be possible too.
Yeah, I don't know if she was aware of her heart condition. Then the mental hospital would have been aware of it, and then they would have taken into consideration that before they medicated her. Otherwise, they're liable.
Yeah, but they make mistakes too. How many times have somebody taken medication that didn't work out too good? They can make mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, they can.
Hmm. And maybe she wasn't truthful about conditions. A lot of times, if somebody's not truthful with their conditions, things can happen. But, she did have a heart problem, and she did go and work out for 3 hours shortly before she passed away. So it could be that. Let's check out this audio here. This is from Ashley Banfield, and then she has a really interesting guest talking about the autopsy and kind of breaking it all down. Damn, that's like 40 minutes. Or let me see. She's on there for about 40 minutes. I'll play that part at 1.25, so that way it doesn't take all 40. Let me see here. So this is Ashley Banfield's episode. Where is the audio? All right, so this is EMS Dispatch, Lexington Medical Center, 6/4/2026 at 10:51 p.m. And I'll share the link with you guys. So here's this, and we are at the timestamp of 4:54. So here's the link to that, and this is that EMS dispatch.
There she was with the DoorDash order, trying to walk right into that woman's door. Okay, have a listen.
Medic 22. Medic 22, this is Lexington. Go ahead. Medic 22, we're heading down to your facility. Non-emergent at this time with an approximately 30-year-old female. Chief complaint tonight is going to be signal 12 with a heavy emphasis on paranoia.
So Ashley Banfield broke down the signal 12 before this, and I'll replay that part so you can hear. I can't exactly remember what the signal 12 meant there, but I think it means like mental health episode or something like that.
Medic 22, we're heading down to your facility. Non-emergent at this time with an approximately 30-year-old female. Chief complaint tonight is going to be signal 12 with a heavy emphasis on paranoia. Cells are within normal limits. Negative SI or AI, but patient has been observed reacting to internal stimuli. We have about a 10-minute ET.
See, I don't understand what that means. Internal stimuli, so maybe some kind of I don't know, what would they, some kind of like wake up? I don't know. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
right.
usually it's external stimuli that they respond to. So internal, I'm just wondering if maybe they gave her
An
like an
injection of something?
anti-anxiety or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're being followed and shit and you're freaked out and somebody's, I mean, when you're like, I gotta talk to you in person. I can't. It sounds like that's a conversation you'd have with your friend. Like, look, if something happens to me, this is who had something to do with it. That kind of situation, like your life was in danger already. I could see somebody going, she had anxiety because she's freaking out. That's what they'd call it now, anxiety. Freaking out because somebody was after her. Let me play that one more time and you guys can hear it again. Here, let me back up so she tells you what the signal 12 is here. Hold on.
They're also talking about a heaviness on paranoia in the video, okay? So they talk about a signal 12. And in this particular jurisdiction, signal 12 is actually different in a lot of jurisdictions. It can mean a lot of different things. But in this jurisdiction, it means suicidal. They're also talking about a heaviness on paranoia in this woman who's 30-ish years old. And they talk about it being non-emergency, but that she's responding to internal stimuli. We've got some expert analysis on what that means. Effectively, it usually means they're having delusions, they're imagining something, or they are responding to something that hurts on the inside that's not immediately obvious on the outside. So I want to play this audio for you so that you can listen through the dispatch of this woman that they're calling in about, and clearly they are going to take her to the hospital. Effectively, it sounds like the police officers are trying to calm her down in a cab. I can't tell you if that's a taxi cab or the cab of a police cruiser or the cab of an ambulance. I'm not sure what their lingo means. I just know what we hear. And again, I don't know for sure that this is Elena. It's just very curiously close to that very strange incident in which that neighbor caught her on doorbell cam. And there she was with the DoorDash order, trying to walk right into that woman's door. Okay, have a listen.
Working on Medic 22. Medic 22, this is Lexi. Go ahead. Lexi, Medic 22. We're heading down to your facility. Non-emergent this time with an approximately 30-year-old female. Chief complaint tonight is going to be signal 12 with a heavy emphasis on paranoia. Files are within normal limits. Negative SI or AI, but patient has been observed reacting to internal stimuli. We have about a 10-minute ETA. Need some vital signs for me? I apologize. I had you turned down. What was your last?
Do you have vital signs on this patient?
Negative right now. I'm having a call from the cab while they're keeping her calm.
10-4, Lexington clear.
So we reached out to Lexington County.
All right. So now we know why she was forced to go to the mental health facility, because anytime that there is discussion about that, they're going to go. To the point where she was freaking out, where they couldn't even collect vital signs. They couldn't keep her still enough. So why would the hospital feel that she was suicidal? If she was being followed, if she was being harassed, attacked, wouldn't they advise the police and her to fill out a report then? How did they get to the conclusion that she is suicidal? Was she suicidal?
Do we know how she was picked up? Like, did someone call and say, "Hey, I need police to come get this woman"? Like, who called and what did they say for her to be picked up?
That was the
Was that the ring
911
cam
call. That
night?
was the 911 call that that was right after the ring cam.
So I
Remember the
wonder if a
911 call we
lot
heard?
of that, if a lot of that was said by the person that called
The
about
police
her.
showed up. Remember you shared that audio of the call that
Yeah,
came in from the lawyer's office?
yeah, yeah.
That wa
But my question is, whoever called 911 on her, I wonder how much of what they said is being repeated by this about the paranoia and the s- wanting to take her own life. Like, was she saying that, or was that being
it would
told to them by somebody else?
well, I would assume it would have to come from her because somebody else can say that you're suicidal, but they'll talk to you. They're not gonna they're not gonna take your husband, like if you're in the hospital, they're gonna talk to you, you know. If your husband's like out in the waiting room, like, oh, she's suicidal and this and that, they're still gonna talk to you and find out from you if you are suicidal. I can't, because anybody can claim that you're suicidal. They're going to talk to you and find out if you are suicidal. They're not just going to
Mhm.
send you over there because your husband said so and you're like, "No, I'm fine." They can't do that. Now, if you yourself mention, if they go, it could be like, "Have you had thoughts of harming yourself?" Well, yeah. Do you right now? And if she wasn't, if she's just being too damn honest, she'd be like, "Well, yeah, right now." Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna. No, 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 ma'am. You said then, it can go that way. Like if she's maybe asked a certain way and she's just being too damn honest, not thinking about her answer, but they can't just force you to go if they don't. They're medical professionals. They're the ones that are supposed to be able to know um if you're that way more than anything. So I don't know. It like the fact that they were like, I get trying to calm you down, I get all that, but once you're in medical attention, like that's not, they're not just gonna do shit to do shit. They can lose their licenses for that. So I would find it hard to believe if she didn't answer something in a specific way that they would just do it because the husband said so. That's too many people to work together and to keep secrets. I
Mhm.
can see the police doing it, buddy buddy. I can't see I can't see, you know, a doctor and 3 nurses and all of these other people being involved in this. That would too many people could talk and fuck it up. You want people that you know damn well that. So, I mean, not that it's not possible. I'm just saying the probability if she wasn't suicidal, it's like this. It's like I said, if she wasn't suicidal and she was just being too honest, like, have you had, because think about the shit she's going through, right? And somebody's asking you that doesn't know what you're going through. Somebody's asking you, have you ever had thoughts of hurting yourself? And you're like, well, going through a really shitty time. Yeah. But you're not saying I'm going through a really shitty time. You're just like, well, yeah. Did you today? Right? Did you today? And you're like, well,
Right.
you're just being too honest. Not that you would do it, but you're like, I mean, I had thoughts. Not that I went through it, but yeah, I had some thoughts. And they could be like, oh, you got to go. They could definitely
Yeah.
be like, oh, you got to go. So I can see that being a situation, but that's not the situation because she wasn't calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She wasn't calm. She was defiant. She was not letting them even try to take her blood pressure or anything like that. So to me, there's so many questions with that. Like, I don't see that scenario taking place because she wasn't calm. She would be calm in that situation. So the fact that they can't even take your vitals says that it was more than just somebody was following me. Who knows what they gave her in that mental health facility? Who knows? And I'm sure she had scripts that she was supposed to fill. And who knows how she was, they should know how somebody's going to react if they don't have the medicine. But maybe she was supposed to go get some scripts filled. And that's why she went to the CVS. But I don't know. There's just so many. Nothing's matching. Nothing's lining up. Hopefully more comes out about this after the ring cam to the hospital. But I think it all is influenced from abuse and coercive control and being stuck. I mean, I can imagine, you look at his buddies and all that, and they can do whatever they want,
Yeah.
Who's gonna hold them in check? They're the ones that are supposed to hold others in check. So I don't know. We'll see. The toxicology is going to be a big thing because if there was some kind of other substance that wasn't supposed to be there. But I don't know. It's just now that you're hearing that audio and it's like they couldn't even get vital signs from her. That means she wasn't sitting still. She wasn't.
No, she was pretty upset.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on.
Because think about it. Like, say you don't even trust the cops because they're friends with your husband. Like, when you get with a nurse or somebody, you're going to calm down. If you want somebody to listen to you, you're going to, like, especially if you're at a doctor's office, why wouldn't you? Why do you care that your vitals get took? Why are you putting up that much of a fight just for a nurse to check your blood pressure? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Even if you're being followed and you don't trust your husband's buddies, once you're back with a nurse or a doctor, yeah, here, check my blood pressure while I tell you what's going on. That's what would typically take place. So I don't know. Something just isn't making sense to me, and this is something that I wanted to get into as well, because this doesn't make sense either. Where did it go? Hold on. Oh crap. Hold on. That's the wrong thing. Where did I put that? Hold on 1 second. I think it was a screenshot. Hold on. Because this is a message from that was reposted. I shared it on. Oh, actually, I have it in StreamYard. Hold on. So this is what was posted a couple days ago. Lee Snell, Brittany Slice, and 2 others. And the husband is going to tell Elena's story. So this was a post from Lee Snell. So these people married Brandon and Elena. And they posted this, and this was reposted from Duke's Investigation and Consulting. And listen to this. Elena Moore and Brennan Slice are close friends of ours. We are all deeply saddened and distressed. This amazing couple were married 2 years ago by me and my husband in Columbia, South Carolina. I have been in daily contact with Brennan and his family. At this time, we respectfully request that Sandra Rochelle Campbell cease and desist from contacting Brennan or news outlets with her stories. The details surrounding the situation are forthcoming. Please respect Brandon's privacy at this time. I pray that no one who is reading this ever has a loved missing and has to be told by SLED that a body has been found. Elena has a story, and Brennan wants to share it when the time is appropriate to do so in hopes of helping others. Again, that sounds like JP. But, you know, I had to ask myself this question when I read this a couple days ago. I put out a short video, but I had to ask myself this question, Jennifer, and let me know if you think this makes sense. We know that the PI said himself that he's the go-between between law enforcement and Brennan. The PI mentioned that on his last interview. Now, when we're looking at that photo, right, it says, let me go back to it. When we're looking at that photo, it says, I have been in daily contact with Brennan and his family. Now, the PI never said that. So it makes me wonder, after I read this, Jennifer, I said, oh, so Brennan contacts the Snell family, who married them, church people, will always forgive me and not see any negative or suspicions of me because they're church people, right?
Right.
They're not going to go, Brennan's lying to us. No, they're going to go, oh, he's so heartbroken, right? So Brennan has a safe contact, which is the Snell family. The Snell family talks to the PI. The PI then relies that information to the police. So we thought it went from Brennan to PI to police, but these people admitted they talked to Brennan daily. So once I read that, I'm like, oh, so that's how it goes. Because the PI, even though he's your buddy, the PI, if he notices something is way off, and he should more than anybody else if he's law enforcement and a PI, right? Hey, this guy's acting suspicious. That's what you do as a PI. You notice things that are out of place, number one. But if you're talking to the church people and the church people is giving the PI the information, then the PI doesn't see any faults that stand out from the husband or what he's saying or what he's doing, right? Because all your contact and information is going through the church people. So the PI is blinded by the church people because the PI is not talking directly. So to me, I'm sitting here now, I'm wondering, does it go Brennan? Does it go Brennan, then church people, then the PI, then the police? To me, if Brennan was smart, if he was smart and that's what he was trying to do, then I would say bravo. Because if I was in that position, that's probably what I would do. I don't want this fucking PI to go one day go, man, why did he act this way this split second? Because he's going to notice more than anybody out of the general public. He's going to know those small signs. Wait a minute, what? Then his investigative mind is already starting to question. But if you're talking to somebody who forgives you, even though you sin on them 20 million times and they still forgive you, they're not going to see the darkness in you. They're just going to sit there and forgive you and pass it off as grief. They're not going to sit there and do what a PI would and start questioning their own friend's actions. No, they're going to sit there and totally be sucked into it. I've seen so many people, especially in the Micah Miller case, where religion was used against them and is used to manipulate them. And because they're God-fearing people, they sit there and forgive them over and over and over and over. And it's like, wake the fuck up. Not everybody practices by the rules you practice in life. So just because you forgive them doesn't mean they're not going to do the shit again to you. And that's part of the problem is the more you forgive them, the more they keep doing the shit to you. So you leave yourself open as a winding door that just keeps getting flapped open and open and open and open. And you're just like, oh, forgive them. Forgive them. It's like, no, sometimes you need to put your foot down. So that's, I don't know. It just, when they made that statement, we are in daily contact. Well, it's like, even the PI ain't in daily contact. Oh, so you talk to the PI then. That's where the PI gets his information. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder about that too, because if the PI gets wind of something, he's putting his business out there, he's putting his integrity out there, and he's already said some things that is painting him in a really bad light, very suspicious. He may not talk to Brandon just because, well, if I don't hear it from you, then I didn't know, and therefore my ass is safe.
Yep.
So he could be getting a lot of that information, and that could be something that Brennan is pushing too. Like, hey, tell this PI everything I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then he doesn't have direct contact, so it's plausible deniability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you could be like, that's perfect for you, because then you don't have to notice weird shit that your friends do, and you could act oblivious to it all just because, dude, like the way that he's acting when it comes to her stories and stuff, excuse me, the way that he's acting, like stay in your lane and all this shit, to me, it seems like he's part of the Good Boys Network. Like he does the same shit. I'm not going to sit here and out Brennan, because then Brennan can out me. We're going to and really that's how a lot of the times this Good Boy Network, you don't tell on me and I'm not telling on you, man. And we keep getting to do what we're doing. And that's how it works. A lot of the time, they all do the same shit. Just nobody tells on each other. So they can continue to get away doing the same shit. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why he obviously gets triggered, because you see this part of the jaw start to fluctuate, which means he's clenching his jaw. You can see his neck tighten up. You can see his eyes get real stern. You can see this part of his mouth start to drip down. I mean, the dude doesn't hide it. He wouldn't be a very good poker player. And he gets very triggered. So the fact that he's even talking about it like that is like, no wonder you don't want the truth to come out. But the thing is
I
like,
think he's making a mistake doing this, speaking
yo,
out
yeah,
and trying to shut people up. It's all on the internet. It's going to follow him wherever he goes. It's going to pop up when people are looking for a PI and trying to look for reviews, see who this guy is see the guy I want to hire. I mean, all of this is going to follow him now.
well, yeah, he probably was thinking in the beginning, like, this is going to be great publicity for me. I'm helping a guy out that I know. You know, he's claiming that they were in love, and he's thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, wipe my hands. You know, I get free publicity out of it. But it's turning into the
Or
wrong
he
publicity
knew.
because he's supporting the wrong piece of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
The fact that he reached out first and tried, to me it felt more like
publicity. Yeah.
he knew something and he knew that this needed to be nipped in the bud before it got out what really was going on in their marriage, and he may have reached out to Brandon and said, hey, we need to get a handle on this. What can I do? How can I help?
That or
I
publicity.
mean,
Hey, it's
it
free
may have been a little
publicity.
bit of both, but if he knew Brandon and Elena so well as he claims, I just, in the circle that they're in, something would have leaked out about their relationship, because
Oh yeah.
there's too many people online claiming, and they all have the same story. And then the friend comes out with yet another same story. So people are seeing, people have witnessed, like, you can't hide everything. And if she has been trying to speak out, there's going to be whispers of what was really going on. And then you have the PI come on national TV and telling people that they're mentally ill and don't listen to them and you need to stay in your lane. And it's going to send up red flags. And he should have known that. But I feel like the more he talks like that, the more people are going to look through what he's saying and start asking questions. And I hope people do, and I hope no one stops until we have answers. But they're making it obvious that there's something there they don't want us to know.
Well, stay in your lane is a comment enough about, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
major red
pretty
flag right
obvious.
there.
And OJ's friends knew about the abuse, but they just didn't know it was as bad as it was. But OJ's friends knew
Right.
about the abuse. People, you know, in abusive situations, some of their closest friends don't even know what the hell's going on. So I can't necessarily say that he knew something was going on, because he could have, even though he claims to be such good friends with them, doesn't mean that it was felt that way from the other end. And so I can't put him that close to their relationship where, if Brennan's not trying to let anybody know and she's hesitant because she doesn't want to get in trouble from Brennan for telling somebody, I could see close friends not knowing that there was abuse going on. Just because they're close, to me, doesn't mean that they would know that there's abuse going on, because people like that can hide it very well and put on a pretty picture, so even their close friends don't even know the situation. But OJ's friends knew, so it can be
I think
either
it
one.
just, yeah,
It really
depends
can.
on how close you are and how much you're around. You're going to eventually catch
I would
something that's going to
I
make
would
you
think
question.
I would think it would depend on how close he was with Elena. And we would know if he was that close with Elena, because then he would have been like some of OJ's friends that came out and said there was abuse that was going on after Nicole was murdered. If he was that close to Elena where she was confiding in him about stuff that was going on, I don't see him going out on these mainstream medias and telling people to stay in their lane. I could see him standing up for Elena. So
I don't think he was Elena's friend. He was Brennan's friend.
no. Yeah, he was Brennan's friend because they worked
Oh.
together. They were friends
Yeah, but he
before
claims
he met Elena. But
to be friends with Elena, but I don't think he was actually friends with her.
yeah, that's why I'm saying that's why I don't think he
Yeah.
would know about it, about the abuse, because I'm saying that
Right.
he
Okay.
wasn't that close to Elena. Because if he was and she confided in
Right.
him, he wouldn't be saying the stuff he's saying. He would be standing up for her. He wouldn't be standing up for Brennan. Because if she did confide in him, he would want to make sure that her justice was handled. Just like OJ's friends. They loved him to death. They were his best friends. But then when she got murdered, they're like, yeah, I did see abuse that was going on. She talked to me about it. She told me about it. She showed me pictures about it. Like, Ron Shipp was one of them. He was a fucking officer. And he was talking about OJ and how she shared stuff with him before and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't see him doing this. I don't even think he was a friend, like you said. I don't even think he was a friend. I'm just saying if she confided in him, the only way for him to, because Brennan ain't going to sit there and be like, yeah, I beat the shit out of her last night. I don't see him doing that either. So I don't see him saying shit to this guy. So that's why I don't think he necessarily knew about all the abuse that was going on, because Brennan ain't going to tell him. And she didn't confide in him because they're not that close. So he might
I don't
just
think
be
she would.
drinking the Kool-Aid of the husband.
Yeah. She's not going to tell his friends what he's doing to her because law enforcement buddies stick together. Like, can you trust them? What are they going to do?
Right. So
Yeah.
then he really wouldn't have known. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't.
I see
He
what you're
wouldn't
saying.
really. Yeah, because she confided in somebody, and hopefully that person comes out and comes forward, or all of them. But with the way that this friend is getting smeared, do you want to talk some more on that? You mentioned something before the show about how they're starting to kind of do the smear campaign with what's her name?
Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra. Sorry.
Yeah, on one of the Facebook groups that's for Elena, and I apologize to everyone because I actually have a screenshot of it and I'm unable to get to it at the moment. But someone was in there talking about Sandra and saying that people in Orangeburg knew about Sandra. They knew about her. They knew her very well, or so they thought. And then they were going to send someone some information privately on Sandra. So it's, there's already this little smear campaign, at least in that group on Facebook, trying to discredit Sandra. So it's gone beyond the PI discrediting her. It's now in these Facebook groups too that people are talking about Sandra. And I feel bad because she did a very brave thing, a thing that's very
Yeah.
hard to do, and that is to speak out about this. And the people she's speaking out against have law enforcement sway. And they've got, if you go in these groups, there's a lot more people that are saying a lot more things about Elena, about Sandra. And it's disgusting because someone is speaking out, and instead of saying, well, wait a minute, let's hear what you have to say because this could be a possibility, it's an automatic no, you're crazy. Don't listen to her. Now we're going to spread lies and rumors about you. And
That's why most women don't
it,
report abuse because
well,
of that
no,
right there.
no, you definitely get lied about. It gets turned around.
Mhm.
You know, you get accused of being crazy and you're the stalker and you're the problem. And it
Making it
creates
up.
such a big problem. Yeah, you can't get away from it no matter where Sandra goes now online. Like, I'm sure she's just walked away from her Facebook. I mean, I would hate to be in her situation and be afraid to even look at my own social media, what I'm going to find on there.
Mhm.
And
She
it
was
was
just
all
trying to
in,
stand up for her
yeah,
friend.
yeah, all because she
And
tried to do the right thing.
mhm. And now anybody else that wants to come out and say something won't because they've been suppressed, like it just think like if she would have been if I hate it, but if Brian Enton would have stood up for her, like it's one thing if you like after the show's over and your guest is off and you're like, look, she did say something else, and so we have to see, like what goes on from here. And it's like, no, man, you should
Mhm.
have stood up for her to that guy. Like anybody, when you hear somebody like, stay in your lane, and you heard her, she said it herself, she's sick. It's like
Yeah. How
you saw what
can
he
you?
was trying to do. How could you not stand up for that friend? Because I guarantee you, if that friend and any of other Elena's friends were watching that episode and they saw Brian and go, why are you making it out insinuating like she has mental health problems because she said she's sick? She said she was sick. If you watch the interview, Henry, if you're referring to the interview and you watched it, then you would know that she said she's sick because her friend was going through all of this stuff. Not that she was having
Mhm.
mental health issues,
Yeah.
Henry, which is what you just insinuated. And secondly, she's claiming that there is abuse. So why stay in your lane? And when I think and hear stay in your lane, Henry, that makes me think of something negative too. Like I bet you Elena's friends and um oh my god, her name again.
Sandra?
Sandra. I keep thinking Chandra. Sandra, I bet they would have sat there and went, thank you, Brian. And that would have gave them strength to feel okay, even though they might get arrows shot at them
Mhm.
from every other direction. They still had somebody like Brian give them like that strength. You know what? He believes in us. And I bet you other people would have came out and hopped on his channel and would have talked more about it. And the thing is he ended up playing into the PI. He ended playing right into it. And it was crazy because after the show was done, the dude was in a different fucking shirt. So it's like he recorded the ending after he had to go back and check his own shit to make sure that she wasn't saying that and all this stuff that Henry was claiming. So it was like an
Mhm.
after the fact, but she did say something different just to cover his ass. It sucks because I don't feel like anybody is going to come out and talk now. Not after what's
No,
happened in
and they're not going
Sandra.
to be taken seriously either. They're going to
No.
come out and speak, and because of Henry Dukes, they're going to be dismissed. Everything they say about Elena, oh,
Mhm.
it's not true. It's just, one of her crazy sick friends. And if if anyone doesn't know how manipulation works and coercive control like that, no one's going to be able to speak up if they don't shut that down real quick. What Henry Dukes is trying to do, no one's
Mhm.
going to be able to stand up for Elena. They're not going to
No.
allow it.
It already
And the
started
harder
that
you
way.
fight, yeah, the harder you fight against it, the worse it's going to get.
Mhm. And then as soon as somebody else comes out and says something, even if it is Sandra, I guarantee you Henry's calling up Brian. Brian, can I please get on to battle this, to defunk this misinformation, Brian? Is that okay? And then he's gonna get his fucking platform spot.
Yeah.
And if Brian don't want him, then he's gonna go on Jesse or somebody else.
I feel he already got his way with Brian. I think Brian got intimidated.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And you know,
He did.
I don't want to be rude to Brian Nitton because he's a good reporter. He does amazing work. But this one got away from him, and he let some PI intimidate him. And I don't think Brian is going to be worth anything on Elena's behalf now because of this.
Yeah, he's already been tainted.
Yeah.
Really, it's true. We watched him because he sat there and looked confused and yeah, intimidated. Like he should have. Like, I don't know how you listen to Sandra, and he talked to her one-on-one. I don't know how you listen to her and you don't stand up for her when Henry talked about her the way that he did on that last interview. I do not get that. I don't, because this woman broke down in front of you, bro. Broke down in front of you.
Now, she also did, and I just recently saw this, she did an interview with Chris Cuomo. Have you seen that? I tried looking for it. I don't know if it's been removed or what. But it must have been a week ago, maybe. But she was even more upset on Chris Cuomo's interview about what was happening to Elena.
Damn,
and I don't
if
know
anybody
if that,
has that, send
yeah,
it.
if someone can find it, that would be awesome. I had trouble finding it the other day. I went to his page, and I couldn't find it. And I'm trying to remember where I saw the clip from. But she had done that interview, and I think there was 3 that I caught. And then when I went to go back to look for them, they were gone.
Yeah, I don't remember Chris Cuomo, but I've been slammed for a bit here, so it's not like I've had both ears to the ground. I have one, not always both. So it definitely could have
I
missed
didn't want
it.
to mention that one until I could find it, but it kind of bothered me that I couldn't find it after I had watched it, because I wanted to bring it onto the show. But she's claiming the same thing. I mean, she's not changing her story, which says, to me that she's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either. I
I'll
would
go
like
back
to watch
through
that.
Yeah, it may be on my watch history. I just now thought about that. If I may be able to find it through my watch.
Oh yeah. If sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. But yeah, that would be interesting to check out. Let me see here. Let me see. So if I tried to listen to that interview with Mackenzie's mom, wouldn't be able to give it justice. It's about an hour long, and we got about 34 minutes left. If so, it would be like putting it on 2x speed, zipping through it, not really being able to talk about it. So,
yeah, we're going to want to discuss that. I'm sure she's got a lot to say for us to break down.
Honestly, that'll probably be its own show. Honestly, like the mom's interview, or could always do like 2 cases in one or something. But I'm still going to put out a notification. It's just going to be a generic thumbnail notification until we obviously it's going to have the mom's interview with Cuomo, and then we'll see what else I kind of want to add on top of that. And plus, if there's anything that breaks overnight or during the day tomorrow, we can always include it too. So I'm just going to have a generic thumbnail and title out for tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and set it. But definitely be talking about Mackenzie Sharilla and the mom. And then I think that's pretty much it for Elena. Let me see what else so I can give people an idea of what we might. I do want to cover a little more in depth with the Nancy Guthrie stuff, stuff that TMZ was talking about, other details that are coming out with these notes and stuff like that. I do kind of want to go back into that a little bit. Let me see. Let me see here. There was something. Let me go to my June folder. There was something with Anna Kepner's case. I think Rosie's, or no, I don't know if she's able to do a show tomorrow or not. There was something with Anna Kepner I thought I seen come across. Something huge with that. Let me see here. Howard Bloom. Scientist Epstein. Why was she ever put in that cabin? Oh, it's Chris Cuomo clickbait. Yeah. Never mind. You know, it is crazy that she don't even look like, here's that. Oh my gosh, it wouldn't pause. This photo right here just, here, let me switch to it. This photo right here, it just doesn't even look like her.
No, it really doesn't. I would never have thought that was her.
Like, don't even, like, if somebody showed me her social media photos and then showed this and they put them side by side, I wouldn't. Is that this person? No.
No.
I would not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the eyes.
Maybe it's
even
just a weird angle or something. I don't know.
Well, think about when you're seeing her eyes in the photos. They're always like bright green and hazel. They're like light colored eyes. Why are they this pitch black? Like, those are pitch black eyes.
Yeah, to me it just
eyes
looks
don't
like a
even
different
match.
person. But
The eyes don't even match. Yeah, that's what I mean. It looks different, but even the eyes, like, you're looking at the photos, they're light and bright, and in here you would expect for them not to be as. It's almost like it's all pupil.
yeah.
You know, like it's all pupil or something. They're just, even the eyes are just completely dark, and it's just like, doesn't even. I just don't know. I don't know. It's wild. I wouldn't even think that. Like, I don't know how somebody saw the social media photos and went, "Yeah, I seen her in here the other day." And that's what she was looking like. I wouldn't be able to put the two and two together. So I don't know. So all right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover tonight. Like I said, we'll get into the mom interview. That's going to be funny as hell. To check that
I will
out.
say their interviews are always entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I got to get rid of that screen. Let me just get rid of it now, because I keep doing that accidentally. All right. Yeah. Especially with the mom. She just, at least the dad, like, he's got a little bit of self-awareness, just a little bit. but the mom just has none whatsoever, and she just
No.
it's like you just put the kid on the sled and you just push him and watch, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
With her. So, all right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Please hit the like, sub, share it out. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure if I know Rosie's pretty busy, so I don't know if she is doing a show tomorrow or not. Not sure. But I definitely will be here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central. So I will see you then. And then maybe late Friday. I'm going to be pretty busy most of the day into the evening tomorrow. So maybe a late, and then Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and we'll see about Saturday night. I'm not sure yet, but definitely tomorrow, possibly Friday, more than likely, definitely Saturday, definitely Sunday. So we'll continue these conversations and any updates that do come out. And we're going to start getting into some of this other stuff too, that we kind of covered everything up to the date so far. So I do want to get to that Missy Beavers case here at some point, because all of that shit is suspicious as hell. Even the release of the information about how she was killed is suspicious. I don't know. It's just crazy. It doesn't make sense. But we will.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that one day.
Yeah, deep dive on that. I'm sure people, but it'll kind of be like this. I'll introduce them to the video that you sent me to let their mind buds go. How does this? Huh? It was like, what? How? And then you start to hear the story, and you're like, whoa! It's like that video is just so creepy.
It's crazy.
Especially at the end when you see that glass flying out like somebody was breaking a window, but you didn't see him break a window, but you saw the glass flying out, and you're like, did I just see a window get broke? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
When you sent that to me, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
Even though
It
I
was
saw
just
it.
creepy enough that you don't get it out of your mind. Like when you're going to bed at night, it just kind of pops up, this creepy video.
Yeah, it's just like, wait, I thought I saw this, but it's not that. So yeah, I do want to get into that soon. But all right, y'all, thank you for hanging out. Have a peaceful night. Love you. Stay safe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Jennifer. And by the way, everybody, make sure you sub again. Had to make a new one. Make sure you go sub up the Jennifer G Files. Can't wait for that. I appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.